Cute. All right. So, welcome all to our Creating Queer Communities Level 1 info session. My name is Joy Lucas. I'm the program manager here at the Queer Cultural Center. Um, we are opening this call up for our third cohort of Creating Queer Communities Level 1. So super excited to get this out to y'all. Um, and yeah, we'll just jump into the details. So the agenda for today, we're going to be going over who QCC is. We're going to be talking a little bit about the Creating Queer Community programs, level 1, which is the open call that this is for, and then also level 2. We'll be talking a little bit about what we're offering, um, eligibility, application details, our timeline, and then we'll be taking questions at the end. That's more so just for like recording sake and accessibility for folks watching it on the back end. So if you do have any questions, please write them down, hold them until the end. Thank you. Okay, cute. All right, so the Queer Cultural Center. So since 1993, QCC has uplifted the work of queer and trans artists by offering supportive programming. We've served an estimated 475,000 LGBTQIA2S plus residents of the greater regional San Francisco and Bay Area. Some of our programs include the National Queer Arts Festival, Creating Queer Communities, our fiscal sponsorship program, and artist services, which is grant writing, fundraising, workshops, etc. We've proudly helped over 50 Bay Area LGBTQIA2S plus artists and their organizations to secure over 9.2 million in programmatic and general operating funds, and that number is growing. We recently in 2022, yeah, did a revamping of our programming to better acclimate CQC, the Creating Queer Communities programs, to the Bay Area at its current state. So our programming now for Creating Queer Communities is a bit different than what it had been in the past before 2020. So if you've known us from way back when and are rejoining, just wanted to let you all know um, to please expect something a little different. So keep this going. All right, so Creating Queer Communities. In 2023, Queer Cultural Center relaunched our Creating Queer Communities programs. So our professional development training program for queer and trans BIPOC artists in the SF Bay Area. So for 25 years, Creating Queer Communities has been an incredibly successful program that has supported the cultivation of a lot of artists and organizations and projects that have become staples in the Bay Area queer arts community. So for example, a lot of folks who went through the program were able to start their own projects and ventures, such as like Queer Ancestor Project, ABC Comics, and a lot of actually our last ED was a graduate of the Creating Queer Communities program. So we have a lot of folks who have come through to add to this like beautiful legacy, and we've been able to revive and reshape that, as I mentioned. So an overview of what these programs are. So the program has been split into two levels. So one level is an emerging artist cohort. So that's CQC1. So this cohort is for folks who have fewer, and we'll get into the details more about this, but like fewer than 3 credits. So folks who are either brand spanking new, haven't put on their own projects or anything, or folks who maybe have 1 or 2 projects under their belt, but want to grow more in their practice and take it to a different space to be something that's more sustainable going forward. And this program runs fall to spring. And our event production track is our CQC2 cohort. So CQC2 runs summer to spring. It's a bit longer and it holds our emerging event producers. So what we do for this is essentially choose folks who bring to us event proposals that we then curate into the National Queer Arts Festival. And so level one focuses on artist development, as I said, and we also provide like workshops to support you in your professional development practice. And it culminates in a final showcase at the end of the program so that you can display what you learned, what you created, and also walk away with something for your portfolio. So for this term, CQC1 is going to run a little bit differently than it has the last two iterations, because we are returning to our once a year National Queer Arts Festival. We did a stint of doing a spring and fall festival for the last 2 years, and we will be shifting back to our original model. So the Creating Queer Communities Level 1 showcase will also be a part of the Spring National Queer Arts Festival this year. And so level 2, once again, focuses on supporting emerging event producers, specifically by financially supporting an event that is presented in the National Queer Arts Festival. And we also provide professional development for them. So in developing proposals and finding ways to fund, sponsor their events, tech workshops, a lot of stuff like that that gets more into the nitty gritty of what you want to do as someone who is holding space within the Bay and wants to do that in a more sustainable way. So deep dive into CQC1. So this is the foundation level of creating queer communities, and it's a cohort style arts education program that pays you to learn and develop your craft and supports the development of your commission project for QCC's National Queer Arts Festival in the spring. That will be held in spring of 2026. So you'll be supported with structured learning and one-to-one mentorship and project development with the QCC staff. So that will include our production development staff person, Vienna, will support with the production of the showcase toward like the end of the program, along with whoever, our team is for the venue that year. And during the year, essentially, you'll be learning like methods and is receiving like information and support and how to be able to more sustainably hold your own practice. So what that means is like, how do we balance our artistic practice, like while we're still maybe working a full-time job, or what does that transition look like from making projects that are more, maybe like once in a blue moon to like every quarter or like twice a year or so, and how do we ensure that like when we're creating these projects in these spaces that we are able to stay funded and resourced and supported throughout. Okay. Um, So artists selected for the 2026 Level 1 CQC Emerging Artist Development Cohort will receive structured virtual and in-person training series of 6 workshops, including top topics such as taxes for artists, budgeting, grant writing, marketing, and more. In Oakland or SF, some of our workshops are in person, some are over Zoom. Based on the accessibility and needs of the cohort, we adapt every iteration. Opportunity to perform in QCC's 2026 Queer Arts Festival Emerging Showcase. You get a 15-minute set that generally folks, like once they are done, are able to walk away with some kind of like video or photography that they can add to their portfolio. One-on-one coaching from QCC staff, and at times our facilitators as well, depending on what the topic is that you need support in. Professional headshots, honorarium to support participation in the 6 workshops at $75 per workshop, a total of $450. And $500 commission for your new work to be presented in the 2026 National Queer Arts Festival New Artist Showcase in May or June of 2026. So workshop overview. So our workshops this year are going to start in October 2025. We'll start with your orientation, and then we're going to go into creating a balanced practice in November, building a long-term project. So that's like more of that project planning aspect to make sure that you are able to build and create in a way that's sustainable, less last minute, to allow you to do a little more planning um, toward that final project. January 2026, intro to artist budgets. February 2026, writing for artists. So writing about your bios, artist statements, cultural relevant statements, all those great things you need to promote yourself and to write grants. March 2026, headshots, and then April 2026, we're going to have a promotion workshop that dives deeper more into how you can talk to you about yourself as an artist in a way that's more tailored for marketing, kind of building on that workshop in February. And then May 2026 will be production intensive, as will June 2026, which will also be production intensive. May 2026 is going to be more so that prep and work that you do alongside our production team and our venue, while June will likely be more of that plus the performance. So we're just calling them both intensives for now. But just to give you an idea of what will be happening. Are you eligible? You are eligible to apply if you are a new or early career artist embarking on your journey into the art world. So this means someone, once again, that has 3 or less credited published works. You are based in the SF Bay area. You are at least 18. You identify as a member of the LGBTQIA2S plus community. You are willing to attend mandatory workshops from November 2025 to September or to May 2026. You want to share your artistic work in a 15-minute set in the Fall 2026 National Queer Arts Festival. Spring 2026 Queer Arts Festival. You want to create and share artistic works that nourish, connect, or mobilize queer and trans communities in the San Francisco Bay Area and its diaspora, and seek foundational knowledge to gain confidence and learn how to grow in your creative practice. So this is the list of disciplines that we are hoping to engage with this iteration. This doesn't necessarily shift too much, but based on who our applicants are, we have been like flexible in the past around visual arts specifically. That's always kind of the one that's a doozy for folks. So we do allow installation art. So if there's something you want to do that's like interactive or is kind of in collaboration with the work that's happening with your cohort mates. We've done, projects like that during the showcase where, folks will be able to engage with larger visual art pieces and things like during intermissions. But mostly who we are looking for are folks who can do things on a stage or want to share their work in a way that is interactive. So whatever that looks like from these disciplines, I'm totally down to take more questions about that toward the end. Our program timeline. Okay. So our application timeline rather. So September 15th, 2025 is when applications are due. September 22nd to 26th, we'll be holding interviews. They will be very short, not super intense, probably 15 to 30 minutes, 30 minutes max. October 13th, 2025, QCC staff will notify accepted applicants by email. October 23rd, 2025, 6 to 9 will be orientation. And then November to April 2026, we'll hold monthly workshops. And then May/June, we'll be holding our National Queer Arts Festival. So this is the application information. Work sample links are optional, but once again, the more info we have, the better, but it is okay if, it doesn't. So what I'm saying, what I mean by that is like, it doesn't have to be anything that's like super polished, super professional. And you don't really have to have one, but it's, it'd be cool to like hear you and get to know your goals and like where you're headed artistically. CQC1 is for individual artists, so duos, collectives, and other groups will only be considered for creating queer communities level 2. So please keep that in mind. And yeah, that is it. Does anyone have questions?
Oh, you go first, Charles.
Thank you. One, thank you for this presentation is really helpful. I have two questions. How many people are selected to be in the cohort? And then my second question I'm wondering is, in lieu of the work sample, again, as we're emerging, can a potential like project proposal be used in lieu of that?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
That's cool. Um, yeah, that sounds good. That shouldn't be a problem. I haven't seen that before, but that sounds cool. That sounds cool. Like anything, it doesn't have to be, and it doesn't have to be like super fancy or like, and it's not like a grant proposal.
Okay.
But like, it could be lightweight, but that'd be cool. That's cool too.
Okay. Oh, and then my last question, what if I'm sure we're all like creative artists. What if you have multiple projects in mind? Can you submit more than one?
No, just because this is more of like for you as an individual. So like it's more so if you are in a place to, well, and let me go back to your first question, which was about the number of folks. So I think we're only going to be accepting 4 people this go around. That is the same amount of folks we had last year. So it's a bit smaller and it's more about who you are as an artist, less the project. That's more of our CQC2 cohort.
Okay.
But it is good to come in with an idea for CQC1 of like what you want to do, so that you're like making the best use of your time. But it's also okay that this cohort is definitely a space where you can take your time and explore and figure that out.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
I have a couple of questions. Oh gosh. Okay, wait. Sorry, I had them and then I lost them.
All good.
Um, okay. One. Okay. Does the performance have to be on stage or can it be like on the same level as the audience?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's fine. I think it's more so the aspect of like a performance versus as long as it's a performance, as long
Okay.
it can be done in front of an audience.
Okay. And
Okay.
then I guess so what I am thinking of does involve multiple people, but I would
Hmm.
be organizing it myself as an individual.
Yes.
Is that like social, is that acceptable?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
So it's something where you wouldn't necessarily apply with those folks, right? So it would be
Yes.
you applying as an individual, but then like once we get to the other side of that and you want to work with folks to involve them in your project, then that's completely fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then is audience participation allowed in our performances?
It is
Okay.
encouraged.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Perfect.
Okay,
Okay, those are all the
cool.
questions I have for now. Thank you.
Awesome. No problem. Any other question? No? Okay, cute. All right, well, thank you all for coming. Technically, if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me. I will stop sharing chat. Stop the recording.